Welcome everybody for this Company Affairs recast. This time it's a replay TerpeneProfile provided, and he is playing the British forces, and he plays against VitaminP, playing as the Wehrmacht, and this guy is indeed a rank 152 player. Was that expressed correctly? I have no idea, I'm already pretty tired, but I think it's correct. And yeah, fortunately Terpene is attending live to this cast. Welcome Terpene.
Hello everybody.
Hello. And yeah, with that, let's give it a try. This time we activated the Fog of War, and we see Terpene's view on the match, so that we can maybe analyze the match a little bit better and maybe can even give some advices. I think you guys can't see it at the moment, but we already see the good sportsmanship between both players. Actually, that is great to see. Alright. So you were opening with 2 Zappers. That is something I also like to do. And the 3rd Zapper is also a good idea on this map, I guess, because yeah, I mean, all these nooks and crannies over here and these houses require some close quarter or close combat units and some flamethrowers. Oh, I'm bad in speaking English at the moment. Alright, so you already mentioned that you were trying a new build. What was your plan over here, if I may ask?
I think if I remember right, I was going to go with 4 engineers and then go into 2 Gurkhas.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep, I think it's been a while since I played this match, but as it plays out, I think I'll probably remember more.
And it's just the Indian artillery battle group, yeah, and then for Gurkhas and maybe for the volunteer infantry.
Yeah, I didn't want to go with any infantry sections on this one.
Ooh, okay, spicy, nice.
Yeah, I was trying some new techniques out for myself.
I assume that you most likely choose to go for the mortar, the heavy mortar, as soon as you reach the first CP. Is that correct, or did you build the how's it called, the medical station?
I think I went for the artillery.
Oh, okay, nice.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so
I think I go into 2 Vickers here.
Oh. Yeah, I'm always hesitating on this map whether it's a good idea to go for MGs, because I mean, obviously it's a good idea to go for MGs because, for instance, the Vickers are, yeah, very strong MGs actually. I mean, they are maybe not as strong as an MG42, but they are very, very good. And the thing is, on this map, again, due to these corners and nukes and cranes over there everywhere, it's sometimes pretty easy to outflank MGs, and sometimes MGs are always having a pretty bad time if the enemy is going for several flamethrowers. But at the same time, as you were going for all these zappers over here, I think you could repel enemy aggressions with flamethrowers and stuff like that. Okay. Unfortunately, he went for his for your cutoff, decap of the 10 times fuel, but I already noticed several times that this is not too dangerous sometimes. Yeah. Because, I mean, as we see, you are now capping the rest of the map. Over here and over here. Unfortunately, I don't get the decap, because this ammunition point is incredibly important for Wehrmacht because of the MP40. He is obviously going for the MP40 grants, and that's a good choice. Pretty strong. And I don't know whether you did that intentionally, but it was a pretty strong move to go for the decap of this ammunition point. Yeah, because the Wehrmacht player is in severe need of the ammunition. However, at the same time, I see a mistake over here. So the MG was not firing at the during this combat over here. Did you notice that? I think when the Zapper squad was in green cover over here, the MG should have been engaging a little bit further so that it could been taking a few shots on this Grens over here. The Vickers is pretty strong in dealing damage even to garrisoned units, so I think it would have been a better fight.
Yeah, there
for
were
you.
definitely a few mistakes made here.
Yeah, but in the heat of no moment, that is, yeah, that is. I mean, that is even very well played over here because I mean you have a pretty good map control. And
Yeah, I think I overextended several times in this match.
yeah, at the moment it is, yeah, pretty good. I mean, this squad over here is, yeah, not overextending so far because I mean it's full health and everything is okay, and there are not that many units in the potential retreat path of this Zappa over here. So I think that is fine. But let's see what's happening next. Okay, now he's yeah, decapping over here.
Heavy machine gun. Victory point.
Okay, yeah, the second MG.
MG.
Okay, one thing, the MG is still over here, and I mean, in this situation, it wasn't even a bad choice, even though maybe you could have been setting up the MG a little bit different so that it's more looking towards this direction, so that, because at the moment, it could be possible that he would go like over here without you seeing one of these squads, and then outflank you over here. Because he already saw your MG with the grenades over here, so he knew the direction of your MG, and most likely he yeah, he would remember the positioning of your MG and just try to outflank it if he want to engage it. Now he decides to go for the decap, and I don't know whether he will go or enter the vision of the capture point over here. Let's see. Okay, he is. Okay, great. Now the Vickers is firing. Okay, that's pretty good. But what I wanted to say is, usually you should try to play your MGs pretty actively. So if it's possible, try to not let MGs wait for units to come, especially in the early game, but just to but rather to search for enemy units. So usually I try to assemble MGs, disassemble them again, assemble them somewhere else, and yeah, search for units using the attack movement command with Q. Company Fears 3, it's Q by default, because you need to take you need to keep in mind that an MG costs 240 manpower, and when it's just waiting for enemy units over here, then it's then you don't make use of the 240 manpower effectively. So the same applies for a sniper, for instance. You need to play these units very effectively so that they are having impact on the match. In the late game of a match, that doesn't apply like it, because yeah, then it's sometimes the matches become more and more micro intensive, and then it's really important to, for instance, shut down important points like the victory point over here from this truck over here with the green cover, so that you just can save some micro and focus on other units like tanks or maybe anti-tank guns, mortar, stuff like that. So let's say it's minute 40, then you might feel free to park an MG like over here and let it watch or monitor the victory point and maybe even the ammunition point over here a little bit. Yeah, but in the early game, try to play them actively. But maybe you will even do that.
I think at this point I was like, I want to keep him off of the cutoff, so I was parking it there for a little bit. I think I move it. Yeah, I think it's moving.
Okay. Okay, so pretty well played. Okay, so you're doing everything right. My entire lecture was useless.
No, I agree with all of it. I agree. I can't remember if I moved it or not.
Yeah, but you did it, and now you're playing it pretty well. Even though I mean, obviously it's a little bit better to use zappers at the front line, and the MG is just following the zappers. Generally, that is applying to all support weapons like mortars, MGs, anti-tank guns, snipers. You always would like to try to make sure that these units are following your mainline infantry like the Zappers in this situation. Over here, okay, it was not, it was already outflanked. Okay. So then you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, that's a nice retreat. We will win this engagement, I guess, right? Ooh, 2 flamethrowers already, that's great. 3! Wowzy, okay, that is pretty hard for the Wehrmacht player to deal with, I guess, in the early game. Generally, I think it's a good idea to go for the 4 Zappers on this map, because the Zappers of the British forces are very strong, and I mean, people like Blue Sonics, for instance, they are having great success with just spamming Zappers only. If you watch his stream, then you will see something like 10 or 50 Zappers, and then just form a huge blob and overwhelm the enemies with these units in the early game, and then just steamroll through the entire game. It's pretty hard to counter that, actually. And I mean, you are playing it way better because you are obviously in a 1 vs 1 forming blobs is pretty risky, because usually you give up the map control with that. In team games that's a different situation, but in 1 vs 1, yeah, that's the case. And you're playing the Zappers pretty well, because I mean you're capping over here and you're capping over here. That's great. And even the mid is capped. Now you're blocking the mid with the MG. That's great. Ha! Pretty neat gameplay. I like that.
Thank you. My line of thinking, I don't remember if I'm correct about this, but they would be cheaper to build and reinforce than going Tommies. So I was trying to save the manpower and then go into the Gurkhas.
That's very true, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the plan with the Gurkhas is pretty good, because I mean, I don't know whether that was your intention, but the Gurkhas could be upgraded with the Tommy guns, and yeah, these are incredibly strong in close range, and that is obviously a good thing on this map.
I think that's what my plan was here.
Nice. Another good thing would be to go for the armored battle group, obviously, because there's this 25% off reinforcements cost thingy for Zappers. I think that's also pretty strong. Anyway, this idea was very good. Okay, nice. Okay, you went for the field infirmary instead of the mortar first. I think, yeah, that is a good choice, because lately when I was playing British forces, I always had a pretty bad time in going for the heavy mortar and have a good timing with the upgrade from the truck that is carrying the mortar.
Sure.
So that it can heal up units. I think it's always a good idea to go for the field infirmary, even if you have access to the mortar and the truck with the med conversion. So I think, yeah, that's good. And now there's the platoon command post. Ha! Gurkhas, nice. Over here, maybe? You could have already been setting up the sandbags. I mean, why not, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, these units are a little bit idle, but I mean, in the heat of the moment, everybody is doing... is having some idle time. So that's nothing to worry about. Ooh! Ooh! Wow, awesome flank of this guy over here. It's more or less a standard move that we all need to practice. So maybe let's pause here again. I mean, I already did this move several times. Just these 2 squads were most likely... okay, maybe he didn't go for heal. And did one model drop over here? Yeah, okay, so one model dropped over here. So the Wehrmacht players at the moment is not having access to healing, and most likely the 2 grins over here started over here, and he used follow-up commands to direct them over there, or to command them over there, then let them go this way and then over here, because he most likely predicted that the MG is over there. Maybe because it already kept this victory point and he saw it capping it. So that is a good move. And now that is not applying for your match, but maybe if you're in the situation of your opponent now is, always remember this move. I think on this map the move is very important to just use follow-up commands and direct the units to walk this route over here, so that you don't need to care for the flanking maneuver. That was
a really good. It was a good flank by him.
pretty well played, yeah. All right, now he's going for full Wehrmacht meter apparently, since the Stuks are a little bit overperforming as well at the moment because they are dealing severe damage to infantry, even though they should be just anti-tank units. I mean, a little bit of damage obviously is fine, but they are just dealing too much damage to infantry, and they are very sturdy as well. Okay, here's another. Here's another sandbag incident. So also over here, I would like to see sandbags from over here to over here. I mean, they are not too important because there's this truck, but they can be pretty handy. Oh, now let's watch the. Okay, I miss. Just wanted to watch the Stuk damage against infantry. Ooh, Gurkhas are doing Gurkha stuff. Could that be a wipe? Gurkhas could do it. Oh, go shot! Ah, no! Oh, exactly 1 HP left. Oh no! Lucky guy. So we see.
Gurkhas are fun. They're fun.
It was a very good idea to go for this build. Pretty good build on this map. Nice.
The enemy has our victory points now.
Interesting though that the Wehrmacht player is rushing for the Stuk instead of going for healing first, because I mean, most likely he was afraid of you rushing a Humber or so, or maybe even Stuart. Rather a Humber, I would say. Unless he went for Stuks. But I think that will cause some manpower bleed for him. Okay, here's another MG. It's a little bit idle. In these situations, I mean, it can be pretty risky when an MG is alone. But over here, I think it's a better idea to use this MG to engage over here. Because, I mean, the MG could be flanked anyway if someone would engage from like over here. Mm-hmm. And maybe if he's very, very... how is it expressed? I'm lacking the expression, but if he is very, actively playing, let's say, and is monitoring your units very, very actively, then he most likely would have noticed that two of your zappers are over here. There's a guy Gurkha squad, and I think. No, wait a second, he didn't notice this MG so far, right? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And he also didn't notice this MG, but it is pretty likely that these MGs are somewhere over here and over here, because they are not in the center of the map, right? And as long as they are not in the center of the map and he is seeing that, he can assume that they are somewhere over here. And since they are not capping over here, or over here, obviously they are holding the position. Like maybe I maybe would, if I want to camp, I would place the MG behind these graves over here, so that they can't be flanked. So most likely assumes you to have the MG over here, and the other MG maybe, maybe over here, and. And maybe this is the reason why he could, if he wanted to, could outflank it anyway. So since that's the case, just engage with this MG, even though it's alone. But because I mean, if it needs to retreat, that's not a big deal, because it's pretty close to the base, and it could re-engage in a matter of no time. But there is a pretty high possibility that an engagement of the solo MG would be successful. Even more, since you already noticed that, I mean, 2 Grens were over here because they outflanked the MG once already. And most likely they are now maybe walking this way towards the fuel over here. And maybe the second squad is moving towards the ammunition point over here. And if your MG is now moving using an how's it called again, the attack movement, then it would automatically target one of the squads when it was coming from the northern area of the map.
Like moving with Q?
Yeah, with Q, yeah, that's true.
Right.
But in case they retreated, because now he would maybe go for some healing, yeah, then the MG would just engage without any resistance. And I think, yeah, that is more effective, because, yeah, if he would engage over here, then most likely he would flank you. And if he's not engaging, then it's just better to engage yourself. Yeah. But maybe, I don't know, maybe we would even do that, but in the heat of the moment, it's, yeah, it's pretty easy to give these advices from my perspective as a viewer. Oh, come on, but this grand now, right? Come on. No! What?
Wow.
Oh, sad. Okay. Nice. I mean, the werewolf players already had some luck.
Yeah, it's much different watching the game for myself as well.
Yeah. But great mine over here. At this position I usually plant 2 mines, one over here and the other one at the exact same position as you are planting it. Oh! Look at that! Now the move is happening. Even though he's not doing it like I expected him to do it. So, usually, as there are 2 Grand Squads, as we predicted, one of them is expected to engage from, like, over here, and the other one is engaging from down here. Now he engaged from the very same direction, and I think he will most likely pin both squads. Are you refocusing? Yes, you are. Well played. No, that's nice, Micro. And now you will win the engagement. Okay, great. Okay. Oh no. Oh, sad. Okay. Oh, look at that. The Stuck just killed 2 models with 1 shot. Ah, I think that's not okay. Stucks shouldn't deal that much damage. Oh no, come on. There again, do you see that? The Stuck is dealing so much damage. That's not okay. That is not okay. Ah. Okay, I mean... What's okay now if these grunts will kill this squad? That's okay. Oh. They won't kill it. Ah, that's fair, that's fair.
Wow.
But it's good to see that the Zappa squad was surviving, because, I mean, yeah.
I don't know how they did.
Yeah, it was a bit like, yeah, the RNG situation. But
Sure.
it's okay, because, I mean, he also had some luck as well, so, yeah, why not? Interesting.
I honestly don't know why I threw that smoke.
Yeah, maybe because he wanted to soft retreat.
Yeah, yeah, that's possible.
why
We'll
not?
be able to requisition ground tanks shortly. We're losing ground!
Could have been working. Wait a second. I think this squad suffered from the bug that the follow-up commands sometimes break, right? I think the MG was supposed to capture this point, right? And then afterwards you use the follow-up command to let it do an attack move towards this position and then capture this viewpoint. I assume that was what you did, right? Maybe you remember, I don't know.
I don't remember. No, I don't.
It looks like it because why should you go for this point instantly rather instead of just capping this one? Oh, nice.
Ground medium tanks are
Oh, that was
available.
good pack position, and now you already have access to the ground medium tank. Wow, that's strong. That's good.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Okay, wait a second. There's a squad capturing it. Okay. Yeah, that's obviously a mistake, but I think that just happened during the heat of the moment.
What was that?
The anti-tank gun is engaging alone. But this is, yeah, that is
Victory point belongs to the enemy.
quite common
Yeah, I think
mistakes that happen from time to time.
I'm pretty sure that was an
Yeah,
error.
yeah. I don't think you would do that intentionally. Yeah. Okay, I mean that is a pretty obvious mistake. I mean now just one Zapper is engaging. I mean sometimes the Zappers with the flamethrower can win against Grenadiers with MP40. Sometimes. I already observed that, but I think in this situation, I mean, since there were two Grens, or you could have predicted that there are more troops like, but just one Gren.
Point is being overrun.
Yeah, that's not a good idea to just engage with one of these Zappers. By the way, we already talked about the sandbags over here. Another good spot for sandbags is over here. Because...
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I should have been more active with that for...
But I mean, you already played with the mines over here, like that. Maybe we didn't even see all the mines you were already planting. I don't know, maybe there are even some more mines. But we noticed the mine over here, that was great. Other good spots for mines. Okay, now. Oh, okay, he's disengaging. Other good spots for mines when you're in the center of the map and floating ammunition. Then I would recommend to plant mines over here. Over here. And if possible, of course, like over here. Yeah, because on this map, sooner or later, enemies will engage there. Okay, nice.
Available for use.
Yeah, that was the attack move usage we were talking about earlier. And it worked perfectly. Well played, nice. Unfortunately, it will be outflanked now. But I mean, yeah, your opponent also played well. Great. Now we see that you're floating some command points. I think that also happened in the heat of the moment, but now obviously it would have been a good idea to go for the volunteer infantry. Yeah. To relieve the manpower bleed a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done that for sure.
That engagement, now I'm curious. The Zappers actually could win that, because the Grens are taking additional damage from flamethrowers when they are in green cover. At least they should. Oh, it's not looking like it. But I think maybe you're just a little bit unlucky, because the Zapper squad... Did you see that? The Zapper squad was just firing at this one model, and this one model was a little bit separated from the rest of the squad, so the AoE damage of the flamethrower wasn't applying. Now it could apply. Yeah.
Surprised how they were tanking all that damage. Grens.
Yeah, it was because this model was over here, and the rest of the squad was there, if you remember that. And yeah, and the flamethrower was firing at this squad over here, at this model over here, and with that missed all the other models of the squad. That was pretty unfortunate.
Oh no.
But I think the Zappas would have won if the Grand Squad would have been a little bit more densely packed behind the sandbag. Ah, by the way, I think that it was a good choice to go for the M3 Grant. Some people consider the Grant to be a little bit useless for the British forces, but I don't think that's the case. Because, especially against the tactic the Wehrmacht player is playing at the moment, like going for multiple Stucks, the Grant is indeed a good idea to go for, even though Stucks are supposed to counter tanks, obviously, but the Grant is just having a high rate of fire, and you even can buff that with the upgrade. I don't know. Okay, you didn't go for the training center so far, but you can buff the Grant's armor, health, and rate of fire, and all this stuff with the upgrade. The training center, sorry. And yeah, then Grants are not even bad in repelling Stucks. I observed that, and it surprised me, but it's, yeah.
You can see too,
good.
I lost my Gurkhas at this point. I don't remember how I lost them, but that was a
Yeah, that's true.
a bad error. I really didn't want to lose that unit.
Yeah.
That was really good for my enemy.
No, the Zappas will also die.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Royal Engineers
Yeah.
out of contact. Resume
Oh no.
repair.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
no. Many bad things are happening.
Yeah, I was having a real problem with the MP40 Grens.
Yeah, they are super strong at this map.
Beggars are threatening a
I mean, it was the perfect choice to go for the Zappas, as we already pointed out.
Yeah, blob, just massive blob of...
report.
Yeah. And here I see something... Yeah, it's pretty sad to see that, because I have to admit that and it's not just because it's you, but I honestly like your playstyle at this very moment more than his playstyle, because yeah, he is making use of the blob at the moment, and that is... I don't think that it's a good choice, actually, because, I mean, he already noticed that you were going for 2 MGs. And... yeah, wait a second, I mean... where's the second MG now? 1 MG is over here? Where's the second one? What the hell, where is it? Ah, over here, okay. Yeah, okay, so... He is not having any information about at least your second MG, and I think this squad just arrived like a few seconds ago, right? So before that he didn't knew the positioning of this MG, since this point was captured for quite a long time, so you could have already moved this MG, if I see that correctly now. And this is why I don't think that it was a good idea from him to use the blob at the moment. I mean, blobs are a valid tactic from time to time if you need to repel early light vehicles, for instance, or snipers, stuff like that. Then I always would recommend to just use a huge blob and lower the efficiency of these units. But in this situation, I don't think that you should have been blobbing, because you were playing MGs, 2 of them, and you already showed your or revealed your M3 Grant, and this is also a blob counter unit. The Grant is maybe even one of the best tanks to counter blobs, and yeah. But he was lucky, since your MGs were a little bit out of place. I mean, this MG over here, it was overextending. That was something you were talking about earlier. You mentioned that you were overextending sometimes, and I think that is one of these incidences. So this MG over here, it seems to be in a pretty good spot, but just at the first glance, the second glance, it could be outflanked like from over here and from over here, and it would even be a threat to the MG if one squad would enter the church and then scout the position of the MG, and then another squad would engage from another direction. I mean, yeah, the Grand Squad over here obviously engage from over here and then outflank the MG and the anti-tank gun. So yeah, usually, I mean, I also do this mistake from time to time. Everybody is doing that mistake. Yeah, but the MG was in a bad spot, even though it looked like being in a good spot.
We're losing a
So-
victory point.
This MG would have been positioned better, maybe in the house, or maybe like over here. or maybe, yeah, maybe at the upper flank of the map, or at the lower flank, or upper and lower area, not flank, of the map, yeah.
Point is being overrun.
Okay, that is great. Now you're using MGs. Very nice. Really?
Victory point is in
Okay, some idle time, but that's just because of the stress of the match, yeah. The loss of the Gorkas, of course. I think always when people lose units, or when I lose units, I start doing even more mistakes.
Yeah, losing the Gurkhas was like kind of a turning point, because I don't think I was able to recover from their value.
By the way, another thing, over here behind these bushes, or generally, when you see some nukes and grannies, then I think it's always a good idea to plant mines there. Like, for instance, over here. That's a good spot for a mine as well, because interestingly, it happens often that squads are walking from they walk this way and past this house over here, and then walk like over here, this way, and then a little bit more to the north, and then engage from over here to outflank something. This move happens pretty often, or they want to reach the green cover of this truck. So over here, that's a good spot for a mine as well. Over here is also a good spot, and over here, yeah, we also already talked about the spots over here. You already made use of them. Yeah, all these spots are pretty good for mines, because they are yeah, regularly used by players, and that could help in this situation, because I think these Grants used this path, right? I think so.
We've lost the sector to the enemy.
Okay. Yeah, I think now it's more and more becoming a GG, because
Yep.
because the Gurkha, the loss of the Gurkha squad maybe is
A sector is
attracted
in
your
enemy
attention a
control.
little bit. Still?
Yeah, it kind of started to go downhill after I lost that
We're
squad,
losing a fuel point
Well-
to enemy action.
I think.
Good as new. Repairs finished.
But still, I mean, your army composition is still not bad. I mean, you're having everything you need to win the game in theory.
Damnation. The sector
I mean, still, you have to take into account that you're playing against a very good player. I mean,
Yeah, he's very. Yeah, he played excellent.
he maybe even consider himself to be a real pro, so it's no shame to...
Taking lofty.
Wow, nice! That was a ground attack, right?
A ground
It was,
medium
yeah.
tank is reporting in.
Man, well played. I'm curious why you're just rank 9... What was it? 900 or so? I think you're playing way better than that, actually.
Thank you.
Jerry's not giving up without a fight.
Over here also you could set up some sandbags and mines. Yeah, okay. Since you're opening with 4 zappers, you could really spam mines pretty effectively. You're having 300 pieces of ammunition, and I think, yeah, that are like what? 10 mines at the moment? Yeah. Yeah, I think you should plant even more mines. Even though you did already, but... More and more mines, yes! Oh, come on, this Gren also will survive now. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, nice MG. Oh, man. Oh! Oh, these scars escapes.
Oh god.
Wow.
It's funny.
Been brought up to the front.
Yeah, again, for the audience, we have to point out the rank difference and that you were playing incredibly great against him. There are not even that many advices that we can give over here, right? I mean, the mines and some engagements or to play a bit more actively with the MGs from time to time, but I mean, generally you are doing it because, I mean, yeah, our MGs are often engaging aggressively, and I like that. That's pretty good. I mean, sometimes the support runs are more of a mainline infantry than the mainline infantry. That is a mistake we all do from time to time, and that's not nice I could give you here.
A victory point is
Oh,
being
great.
overrun.
That's great damage of the anti-tank gun.
Infantry are standing by to deploy. Split the trails. Victory point under enemy control.
But
Is it load
I'm
bearing?
curious what he is going for. Wait a second. I mean, I'm super tired now because of the gig, but I think we since he was going for breakthrough because of the MP40, we already noticed that obviously. I think he's starting for a tiger, right? Will we see the tiger soon? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, yeah,
I think you do see the tiger. If I think you jogged my memory, I could be wrong, but
okay, yeah, cool. Curious on the tiger. This is a mistake. I mean, I always do that at the moment, that mistake, because in Company Fuse 3 I still struggle with monitoring the health or the structural integrity of houses or buildings generally, and yeah, it's no good idea to go to enter a house which is low on health like this one. Yeah, because maybe if the Stuks both are still alive, and he already noticed that because there are these grens and the Stuks are like over here. They could maybe engage real quick and both shoot at this house, and then it would collapse and the MG would be gone. Oh yeah, but you're leaving it already. That's good. Yeah, now we see the power of the M3. But it's missing. But what? Did you see that? Oh, the M3 and the blobs. That is insane. Let's see. Yeah, M3 ground, yeah. I'm so tired, I don't even remember the names of the units. But yeah. Ooh. That is some severe manpower bleed for the Wehrmacht player at the moment. Well played. Right. Yeah. MG is idle, but that's due to the heat of the moment. Will we see... no. By the way, just in case you will play some, or you're going to play some Wehrmacht soon, what he just did is a good idea, even though it in the first glance looks a little bit strange, but I mean, he was going for 2 Stuks, and then for an anti-tank gun as well. And one could say, but why is that? Because, I mean, 2 Stuks are already countering the enemy armor. Why is he going for the anti-tank gun? And I think it's a good move because, I mean, it's a little bit abusive because the Stuks are dealing so much anti-infantry damage, but even though that would not be the case, the build would be good, because I mean the Grens with MP40 are strong in repelling infantry, obviously on this map especially, and now everything he needs is like maybe a little bit of indirect fire or anti-tank capabilities, and since the Stuks on the one hand are providing that, but they are armor-based anti-tank, and it's always important to try to have a balanced army. So not just armored-based anti-tank capabilities, or not just infantry-based anti-infantry capabilities, or not just infantry-based anti-tank capabilities. You see what I mean? But a mix of all this stuff. And that is why I think it's a good idea to go for the anti-tank gun as well. And we just saw that over here. You most likely would have been able to kill at least one of the Stuks if you would have not been going for the anti-tank gun. I don't know whether my English is good enough at the moment to get the message across, but just in case there wouldn't have been this anti-tank gun, one of the Stuks suddenly would have died. Yeah, so it's always good to have a
agree.
Yeah, thanks. Even though my English is a little bit bad at the moment.
Yep.
Okay, great. I certainly shouldn't have been playing this gig. I'm so exhausted. Okay,
yeah,
no.
one thing I think I could have done better if I would have been better at preserving a few of my units. I've lost a couple engineers in those Gurkhas. It would have been going
Territory sector lost,
better.
Commander.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I missed that point. That is very important.
Hey, we have guards on stand.
A very smart German Company Furious player. He's called, I don't know whether you know him, but Da Pope. He's called Da Pope.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, he's great, and he always tries to point out, if you lose a unit of your army composition, rebuild it. Don't just always stall for higher tier units or so, but be confident, or feel confident to just rebuild losses, even though you maybe need sometimes more advanced units or stuff like that. And I think he's right. And I mean, you said the exact same thing with just rebuilding the Seppas or the Gorkas earlier. Yeah, and I think, yeah, that's true. I share your opinion over there. Yeah, nice mine, by the way.
Thank you. He was very diligent about preparing his Stuks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he always had those engineers around him. He was very good about that.
Actually, I didn't notice whether he already went for 5 grenadiers earlier. Is he having... Okay, let's deactivate the Fog of War. Or maybe switch to his perspective. 5 grenadiers, yeah, okay.
Wow.
And no, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I'm so tired. Yeah, 5 grenadiers, okay. So, he was going for 5 grenadiers. That is... yeah, why not? On this map, that's certainly a good idea, since he is packing up the grenadiers with the Stuks and the anti-tank gun, so he's having everything to deal with your army. I mean, maybe you noticed that in the match. And with that, obviously, it's the question how to deal with that. I mean, you went for 2 MGs, and that is a good idea. Maybe, even though it's this Nooks and Cranny map here, maybe even a 3rd MG could have been a good idea. Yeah, and of course, as you already said yourself, rebuilding the Zappas. And then I think you could have been having a better time against the 5 Grins. And even though the Food Guards are very strong, in this particular situation I wouldn't have built them, because, yeah, I mean, they are I feel like they are not really good in dealing with Stuks, since they are not dealing enough damage to repair them effectively, and Stuks are dealing a lot of damage against infantry, so foot guards are not good against Stuks. I feel like it's like that. I would rather have been going for another anti-tank gun. Yeah, and try to recruit these 2 anti-tank guns. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have the armor-based anti-tank for the British forces so far. Which tank was it again? I think they... Archer, the Archer tank, right? It's called Archer tank.
Yep. Yep, that's correct, yeah.
Just in case they will patch him in. I think in this situation maybe the Archer tank could have been a good idea, even though it's sometimes hard to get a clear line of sight, but that same thing applies for Stuks or anti-tank guns, and we already see that it's working. Yeah.
We're losing a victory.
So
I'm sure they'll implement that at some point. I've seen I think there's a model of it out there.
yeah,
Of the model for the game, of the Archer.
yeah, that's true. Amazing that you just fought back the map control. Wow,
The enemy has only 250
not bad.
points left.
Is it load bearing?
Oh, there's the tiger. Yeah.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
What is this? Ah, okay. Ah, you're using... Oh, great. Ooh. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Where's it shooting? Wow. Look at that damage. It's amazing. I love that ability. Even though sometimes it's stronger to go for the artillery emplacement, because yeah, unfortunately 225 pieces of ammunition is pretty much... Oh, could that be a wipe? And over here? Yeah, that was a wipe. Over here that also could... Oh no, that's not in your territory. Wow, okay.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
Incredible.
Okay, they won't die.
I remember what I was thinking as I was saving all those munitions for this lineup here. Because I was like, yeah.
Okay, tiger. Ooh, okay. Pretty brave dive now. But look at the performance of the M3. Amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's a tiger, right?
Sure, yeah.
Enemy got one of our
Oh no.
Oh,
My brave Grant.
I mean, obviously try to not use too crumpled up units. Let's say crumpled up is not expressed correctly. But there's the tiger, so one shot of the tiger over here is like one shot of a M3 Grant over here.
Yeah, I'm bobbing pretty hard there.
Oof!
artillery barrage.
What a hit. But did you see that? That was not the tiger, that was just a Stuk. And the Stuk killed a model, and 25% of health of this squad was gone just by a Stuk hit.
It's
Not
just
okay.
nuts.
It's not
No, it's
okay.
not. I remember thinking that for sure. I remember that vividly, thinking, man, those Stugs are a real issue.
Tank guns are being pulled up.
Oh, wait a second, what did we just hear? You attack for the 17 number, right? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We're not having...
Yep.
Yeah? Ah, yeah, okay. Nice.
17-pounder anti-tank guns available.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good choice against the tiger.
Beggars are threatening a victory point.
But on this map,
Bastards!
I don't know whether I would use the 17-pounder on this map because it's so clunky. And it's expensive. Wait a second. This cost 360? Yeah, manpower and 40 fuel. It's pretty expensive. I think I would have rather been going for another regular anti-tank gun, even though it's a Tiger, but
Batteries are standing by to initiate perimeter monitoring. We're losing a munitions point. Contact! We have contact!
that is the move again, yeah.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
I think this time you could have been repelling the squad, but then she was sitting up a little bit too late. Usually I would not recommend using these grenades. I also do that from time to time when I get tired or so, but usually that's not a good move, because yeah, obviously these are pretty easy to dodge. Even more since there's just one engagement going on at the moment, since this engagement's already over. That's the only engagement left.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Yeah, so these grenades right before you retreat, yeah. Or generally these grenades, when there's just one engagement going on, are not that useful.
Split the trails.
Okay, at the moment, this is dangerous. I don't know whether that happened intentionally or unintentionally. I mean, mostly you wanted to save some victory points, but these units are in a high risk at the moment. In case there's a situation like that and you lost some units and the enemy is pretty strong and all this stuff, try to make sure that your entire army is always engaging together or as one unit. Not like within a big blob, but that they... I mean, for instance, 1MG should be also like maybe over here. Not already been set up, but you should have ordered an MG to go over here using an attack move, so that, for instance, when a grenade is engaged from over here, or from over here, or maybe even from over here, that the MG could automatically been set up and then pin down the engagement. Yeah, second MG of course maybe like over here or over here. Yeah, and the Gurkhas and the mainline infantry, it is the rest of the mainline infantry should have been like somewhere over here, maybe. Because yeah, the issue is that the enemy is at the moment way stronger than you are, and that is why you need your entire army all the time to fight him.
We're down to 200 points.
Because like this you are making you weaker as you already are. Yeah, but he's playing very, very good. So
Yes.
he's barely doing any mistakes. I mean, the engagements like over here, he did that several times, and that is, yeah, just well played. He never forgets about this move. I sometimes do. He didn't. That's great. Yeah. Also his micro of the anti-tank guns, the Stuks, pretty good. Everything. And he's not super greedy. I mean, by now, most players would have been going for an all-in or try to finish the game by brute force and stuff like that. Okay, now he's engaging. Just with the Tiger. But he's not super greedy. He's not trying to push you back into the base. He's trying to play that as clean as he can. That's really good. Yeah, but now again, that's the same situation. I mean, yeah, okay. The Zeppers were over here, but they got repelled. But over here now, you're splitting up your army, and you're not in the position to do that. I mean, I understand that you wanted to recap the victory paints, and that is also something I do from time to time. But it's a mistake. When you're in a position like that, you need to make sure that your entire army is fighting together. Yeah.
Anti-tank crews are on standby for orders.
I think that's what I was thinking too, as I was like getting a little look. I wanted to get the map.
Hmm. Why can't I click at the... Oh, because it's attached to the track, right? Now it's working. Oh, great. 17 pounder. Yeah, but still I think was the wrong decision to go for the 17 pounder at the moment. I mean, I know you faced the Tiger and you thought, oh, okay, I need some bigger anti-tank stuff against it.
Yep.
Yeah, but...
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But in many situations, I think regular anti-tank guns are also fine in repelling a Tiger. As we already saw, I mean, they did several times already, together with the M3 Grand. You rather should have built more infantry, like, yeah, as you already said earlier, more Zappers, for instance. Yeah, this engagement is not good as well, because the Zapper is engaging alone. And now the MG is also engaging alone. Or maybe he just used this squad to scout. Oh no. But it's coming away.
No.
Great. Yeah, this time the MG was
We're losing a victory point.
used properly. Well played.
Don't bother. We'll deal with this ourselves. What you got for us? Victory point.
Pretty cool positioning of the 17 pounder. Yeah, that's good. What is it shooting at? Is it this structure? Ah, you tried to use ground attacks again. Nice. And I think we did we see the 17 pounder pen this house once? I think one shot of the 17 pounder hit the ground over here, right?
I think it did, yeah.
Interesting.
I think it could.
Okay, then she got
I
out.
think it sees some decent action. I think it, if I recall right, it does kill a Stug at one point.
Cool. Huh?
I think I had some moderate success with it, but it was kind of clunky. It was clunky to move around, and I do agree with you. Yeah, I think I could have invested the funds a little more wisely.
Ah, but pretty good micro though. I mean, it's really hard to.
It was fun too. I kind of wanted to try something new, and it was
Yeah.
fun.
Nice.
Enemy have taken our territory.
Oh, come on. That. Ah, no!
Buckle up, gents. We're down to 100 points.
The grants worked out well. They were good in this match. I wish I could have preserved my unit preservation overall. Could have been a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean.
It hurt me. Yeah, losing those Gurkhas early and those sapper squads.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it's an amazing match.
It's a grenade! Workers are getting locked here! Don't stop loading! Grenade!
Oh no. Oh, wow. She survives.
I don't
Oh,
know
no,
why it's
just
fired.
To enemy
So.
action.
Maybe the. Yeah. Focus vehicles is disabled.
We're
No, it's
losing
a-
a fuel point.
Nice. You noticed that and enabled
We're
it.
losing a
Great.
victory point.
Yeah, that's good. Ah, so most likely these weren't ground attacks, but it tried to fire at the infantry earlier. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's
The enemy
accurate.
has pushed us back from our set.
It is amazing how you still are repelling him. I think we need to deactivate the Fog of War. He is playing incredibly defensively.
Yeah, he played really conservatively. He played very well, but it was a more conservative defensive approach, I thought, too. I think it wins.
Oh, what are you seeing here? That's a... Oh, nice. Now maybe it's the time for the 70 powder to shine. Maybe didn't even notice it by now. But again, these
17
Stuks won against
I know.
infantry-based anti-tank. Oh no, that is so
Yeah, he
not okay.
microed his Stooks. He microed them really well. I wish I could have killed him. They were menacing me the whole game. I remember getting kind of tunnel vision and wanting to take the Stoogs out.
No, I see.
So I think they have some pretty decent veterancy on them right now, and they have the side skirts. So they're pretty lethal.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So they decrew the 70 pounder.
That's not good.
Don't know. With the Tiger, yeah. And he's taking the advantage
Yeah, that's
instantly. See, 70 pounder is dead. Tiger is coming in. Yeah, interesting. What will we see now? Okay, maybe the squad gets repelled and you capture the 70 pounder. Hopefully. No? Ooh, and 3 dice. Okay. Ah, okay. Tiger needs to retreat. Good. Ah, sad, yeah. Oh, by the way, from time to time, I don't let the MG set up, but perform a move like I click at the MG, do an let it go towards this direction in this case, and then do an attack move towards this position. Then it will face towards the correct direction. Like, for instance, it's facing towards this direction, but it's not set up already. And just in case he's doing the flank move, like from over here or from over here, it still will turn towards the unit, and most of the times it will set up just in time to pin it down. That is something you could try to practice from time to time, to not set up support weapons actively, but to just let them wait within an attack move so that they will set up towards the direction where the flanking unit is coming from. And you don't have to invest any micro for or APM for doing this move, because the MG will do that automatically.
A victory point is being overrun.
Amazing. He's playing so defensively.
Victory point under enemy control. Enemies pushing the line, trying to take one of our points. We've 25 points left.
25 points left.
A sector is in enemy control. Brace yourselves.
Okay.
Down to our last 10 points.
Most likely win this engagement. Is there even a squad wipe this time? No! Oh,
The enemy has
GG.
won. Signal the
Alright. Oh boy, that was an amazing match. I think we need to point out that VitaminP played full meta actually. I mean, that is, I think, the strongest Wehrmacht meta on this map at the moment. And he made use of every single aspect, like for instance the Stuks. I'm not a fan of the Stuks, and most likely you already have noticed that I prevent to build them, because in my opinion they are severely overperforming and it's no good sportsmanship to build them. But I mean, of course it's okay to do so. It's because, I mean, yeah, it's at the moment a good idea to do it because, yeah, it's strong. That's one thing. And on the other hand, he was incredibly high ranked. So you played pretty well. I mean, he was playing meta, was playing off meta. He was higher ranked, and still you gave him a good fight. It was great. I think the only issues we should focus on now initially is, yeah, from time to time to keep your army together a little bit more in desperate situations like here in the late game. Yeah, just stick your army together and focus on one victory point, even though sometimes it looks like, but then I'm constantly losing victory points. That's true, but on the other hand, with that you have the opportunity to win engagements actually. As soon as you split up your army, you most likely will lose most of the engagements, and when you keep your army together, then it's more likely that you can take a win of an engagement from time to time. And that's important in situations like these, especially since many players, like me for instance, become very greedy when they see, okay, I am obviously winning at the moment and I'm in a pretty good spot. Then people become greedy and start doing mistakes because of the greed. And in a situation like that, when you keep your army together and fight combined arms, fight with the entire army against parts of his army, because most likely he is defending multiple victory points because he is having the victory point advantage. Thus he splits up his army. Thus the single compartments of his army are obviously weaker. This is giving you the advantage to win engagements. Do you see what I mean? Am I expressing that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
cool.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost way too many units too. You can see, and I didn't. He
Yeah.
had some units that got away early, and
Yeah.
I never wait. Yeah,
That was so unfortunately. There were
that's
like
just the name of the game, you know.
4 grants or so that just retreated with 1 HP and still got
yeah.
fired at and still survived. Oh.
Yeah, it was a really fun game. He played really well.
Yeah, but you also did. It was, I think it was even an even match. Yeah, to be honest, the early game could have been very devastating for him actually. If we would have been taking some of the wipes with the grants, then probably you would have won this match actually. Yeah. Okay, another thing to focus on is the usage of the ammunition. I mean, now I see, I get your intention. You wanted to save for the artillery barrage for 225 pieces of ammunition. But I think it's, and we saw great action of this ability actually. I mean, it was 1 squad wipe and 2 more grenadiers nearly got wiped as well. So it was indeed amazing, but I think it's better to spam mines instead, because for the cost of this ability you can plant like what is it, 7 mines,
I'm not
right?
sure. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think 7 mines, and oh, maybe, yeah, 7 and close to 8 mines, and 8 mines. That is something. I mean, 8 mines could resemble an equivalent of maybe like, what is it? Maybe like 2 models per mine on average, and 1 model costs like maybe 20 to 25 manpower. Then
yeah, I would say that's accurate.
yeah, then it's like, am I correct? Is it like 180? So close to maybe something like 200 manpower. Yeah, and 200 manpower to have or not to have, that is making a big difference sometimes. And from time to time, you're fighting a low squad, or you're fighting a squad and it's getting low on health and on model counts, and then just maybe 2 models are left and they retreat and then they hit one of your mines and then it's a full unit kill, and that's even more expensive for him then. And he loses his veterancy. So I think it's more effective to go for mines instead of this ability. I really like this ability, and I remember that I suggested using it in one of the YouTube videos I did for the British faction, but now I would revise this opinion. Opinion, right? Now I think it's more useful to go for mines. Yeah. Especially when you're going for multiple zappers. No. Okay, and another thing that is something you already pointed out yourself is to just rebuild some of your key units. I mean, your build was it was basing on 4 zappers in advance and 2 MGs, and then you were going for 2 anti-tank guns, and that is a pretty solid build, especially on this map. It's a very good idea to do that. And that was then substituted with Gurkhas, right?
Yeah, I feel like the build was kind of an experiment, but I liked it and I felt like it played well.
Yeah.
And just the unit preservation wasn't there, unfortunately, in that match for me.
Yeah. So the build was amazing, and the micro was also amazing, and most of the engagements also amazing. Yeah, but genau. But genau. German Blauti is doing confused stuff again. But you need to rebuild the units, and what did I want to say? There was something else. I think we pointed that out earlier. I forgot it now. Sorry.
It was a really fun match, though, even though I lost.
Yeah, certainly. Oh. Yeah, but I think we more or less pointed out everything that was important. I mean, the important control mechanisms like using follow-up commands. I think you used that, obviously, because you were having pretty good map control and pretty good engagement on several areas of the map. I think you also used... Did you assign teams? Like, for instance, the 3 grants, Team 2 and stuff like that also?
Correct, yeah. I usually assign my AT guns and possibly my armor, and then I usually leave the infantry unassigned and micro them individually.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's resembling my unit control, yeah. Okay, so you're also doing that. By the way, do you use the minimap or the tactical map? It's also something.
Use both.
Both.
I use the tactical map a lot, and then I kind of monitor the mini map as I'm playing. I kind of utilize both.
No. Okay, so you're also doing that. It's great. Yeah. I think you're already playing pretty clean. I mean, there are some things we already pointed out, and when you master them, I think then you're mostly rank 50 or so. I mean, it will be pretty high rank then.
So. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, he was a great player. I felt like I played good, and
yeah,
I was happy with the result, even though it was an L for me.
Yeah, I think this cast could have been a full cast for... maybe you could send this replay to Sani or so. I mean, he's one of the best casters, I think, and maybe he could
just... Great. That would be...
maybe...
Great. I would love that.
Yeah, maybe he could cast it, because it was a really thrilling match. It was just really great. Yeah, but now we just analyzed it, and with that I would say, yeah, both players played an amazing game, and with that, let's say GG. Well played, and let's have a good time. Yeah, thanks for providing the replay. It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
famous car. It's nearly 60 years old so far. Takes plenty of gas, but it has class. Martin don't care, he loves it and it's rare. He's never gonna sell it if it takes all his money, 'cause there's help from his love and honey. Taxes are high, the income is low. No more money for vacation to go. No money for beer, no money for wine, but the woman you love. And is that so 59? This is the story of a famous car. It's nearly 60 years old so far. Takes plenty of gas, but it has class. Martin don't care, he loves it and it's rare. He's never gonna sell it if it takes all his money, 'cause there's help from his love and honey. Taxes are high, the income is low. No more money for vacation to go. No money for beer, no money for wine, but the woman he loves. And is that so 59? This is the story of a famous car. It's nearly 60 years old so far. Takes plenty of gas, but it has class. Martin don't care, he loves it and it's rare. He's never gonna sell it if it takes all his money, 'cause there's help from his love and honey. Taxes are high, the income is low. No more money for vacation to go. No money for beer, no money for wine, but the woman he loves. And is that so 59? But the woman he loves, and is that so 59?